Hi, my loves. Welcome to Dear Diary, the Self-Love Podcast. I am your host, Amanda Beatty. And before we dive into today's episode, I just want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude. Your time is precious, and I value it immensely. So whether you're listening in the shower or on your car ride or while you're doing your dishes, I just wanted to say thank you for pressing play and choosing this podcast to listen to as your source of inspiration and growth in your life. I really believe that small moments of reflection and inspiration can really make a profound difference in our daily lives. So, I wanted to create these special moments with you, these little mini episodes, little nuggets of wisdom, if you will. Whether it's taking a breath, whether it's a moment of meditation, or just a spark of inspiration that I got while I was meditating. And I hope that they will add value to your day. Really just a heart-to-heart conversation. I think these moments are a chance for us to connect deeper, and I would love for them to serve as a way of infusing your day with empowerment and thought-provoking conversation. So, I just wanted to share that. Stay tuned for more of these mini episodes, and I hope this one serves you well. Thanks for listening. Welcome to another episode of Dear Diary, the Self-Love Podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Beatty, and in today's mini episode, I want to talk to you about 4 ways that I cultivate inner peace, which is something that I need to do frequently with life being lifey, society being society, my relationship being a parent, spinning all the plates in the air, trying to heal generational trauma while I build a business and try to be successful in this. We got a lot going on our plates. I know I'm not the only one here. So being able to tune into practices and ways in which I can quiet all the noise and find some inner peace, but practices that don't involve me laying down on my meditation cushion for an hour and a half, breathing and meditating, like we're talking like easy everyday practices that you can use, that you can get better at by practicing, hence why these things are called practices. And yeah, let's just get right into it. I feel like in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, I found myself like seeking the solace in these simple moments of stillness. And so in order to like quiet some of the noise and some of the chaos, these little practices or pauses, if you will, have literally become like my safe haven. So I'm going to share them with you today, and I'm really excited because I feel like they're not hard. They're not, like I said, you're not laying down meditating for an hour. Like some people just can't do that. That's not beginner friendly. These are very beginner friendly. So if you are on your personal development journey or your healing journey, and you're really just any journey, and you're looking to cultivate just more throughout your day, listen up. I got something for you. So the first thing, embracing moments of quiet reflection. Okay? I said these were simple. I didn't say they were easy. They are practices. It's taken me a while to be able to do this, but now that I have, it is one of the most potent tools. At life, right? It pulls us in so many different directions, but there's so much power in pausing in between the chaos of life to just listen, just be. Take a few deep breaths, a moment of reflection before bed, pockets, little baby pockets of stillness that offer us a chance to reconnect with what's going on inside of ourselves. To find, like, it's like the eye of the storm, right? It's like the eye of the hurricane, it gets quiet. The wind dies down. The rain might stop. And it's just a brief moment of pause. And so in these moments of pause, we can listen to the thoughts, not need to change them, fix them, just simply observe them. We can surrender to the breath. Like, when is the last time? I invite you to do it right now. Like, take the deepest breath that you've taken all day. Sometimes that's all it is. Literally, that's all it is. It's just a pause, a break in between the spiraling thoughts, the autopilot gestures, the spinning of the plates, the doing of the things, the committing of the things. Like, just surrender to your breath. Allow this pause to gently nudge you towards more alignment. Sometimes when I take these moments to pause, it's like, oof, you were just on autopilot for the last couple of hours. Like, how about we slow down? How about we be a little bit more mindful about how we're showing up, a little bit more intentional about what we're doing, and like, relax, girl. Like chill the fuck out. And if it wasn't for this pause, this sacred pause, I would have just kept going. Right? This is when you find yourself at the end of the day like, holy shit, what a day. Like, did I forget to breathe? Did I forget to eat? Did I even drink any water? Like, slow down. Before bedtime, right? We do so many things. We make dinner, we clean up the dishes, we put the kids to bed. That's a whole freaking routine in itself. Then we are scrolling on our phone because we just want to check the fuck out, or we put on Netflix because we just want to like say goodbye. And then immediately we're like on screens until bedtime, and then we close our phones down and we shut the TV off, and then we wonder why we can't fall asleep. Like, what if you just laid in bed in quiet stillness and paused and reflected on your day? How did it feel? How did you move through the day? Can you find gratitude in any parts of the day? Just notice, just be. There's no shame, there's no judgment, there's no fixing, just pause. Like, wouldn't that be something, right? So, sacred pauses, number one, hands down, so supportive. The second practice, embracing micro shifts, micro movements, micro acts of self-care. And tuning into like baby stepping my way through life, I learned and have embraced this part of me because I found out it's part of my human design actually. It's kind of everywhere in my human design chart. Embracing these little micro movements. So like, rather than seeking or looking for or trying to do grand leaps and gestures and make big shifts and have big ahas and try to get done the most, I've discovered the power of little micro movements, small, manageable actions, whether it's a little shift in perspective about what I'm experiencing, or a small sacred pause throughout my day, a moment of mindfulness. Like, how many times do we eat our food and be on our phone or watch TV or be stressed about the day? Like, pause, intentionally eat your food, taste your food. What's the flavor? What's the texture? Like, right? Like, do we do that? No, most of us don't. Maybe it's a simple act of self-care. Like, okay, we can all take a bubble bath, but what about a really intentional, like just that little shift? Instead of me getting into the bath with a podcast playing in the background, maybe I get into the bath and do a meditation. Or maybe instead of rushing through my shower, I set a boundary with my family and say, I'm going to be a minute in that bathroom, and I take my time. Like I put a hair mask in. I spend time shaving my legs. Like I move slowly and intentionally. Just that small little shift, right? Instead of doing my to-do list and breaking down all of the things that I need to do, and it's like, oh my God, there's like 40 things on here. What are some ways in which I can break that giant to-do list down into small baby steps? Little micro movements, right? Like it's such a simple thing, but you got to slow down long enough to see where you can make these little shifts. Because if we're moving too fast, we'll miss them. Like we'll literally miss the entire opportunity. And I think one of the biggest things is like, you ever hear of like the butterfly effect, right? The flutter of a butterfly's wings carries the potential to ripple through the very fabric of our existence. So it's these little pauses, a small moment of gesture of self-compassion, right? A simple act of kindness towards oneself, towards another. Each of these little moments can serve as a testament to the power of intention and presence and just moving through life a little bit slower. And when you can do that, you have the opportunity to cultivate so much inner peace just by being intentional, being present, moving slower. Now, I'm not talking about, going through your day at a snail's pace, but could you just slow down just 1% more and shift the way you do just a few things? Maybe start with one thing. How do you prepare your coffee in the morning? For me, that's like a sacred ritual. I've got my cacao, my creamer, my warmed milk, my frother. I pour that spoonful of cacao into my coffee, which is a natural heart opener, and I set my intentions for the day, how I want to act, who I want to be, how I want to show up, what I want to feel, what's going to happen, and how am I going to react or not react when the day goes sideways. Like breathing that in, and that first sip is like, thank you, thank you, thank you, this or something better. Like that whole practice takes me a solid 3 minutes, as opposed to just pouring some cold milk and some sugar in my coffee and chugging it down to be on my merry way to go do the next thing, right? So embracing these micro movements through your life, through your day. The third thing, this is a really big one because I feel like we weren't taught this. We don't know what it sounds like. We don't even know how to do it. I had to learn. It takes practice. I'm still learning. I'm still refining. And that is listening to your inner voice. In a world filled with so much freaking noise and distraction, it is so easy to lose sight of our own inner wisdom. There's so many opinions and projections and judgments and noise and chatter in this world. But amidst all of that, there is a quiet voice within each of us. A voice that knows exactly what we need to hear, to do, how to move, to thrive. And I know you're like, doesn't that mean I'm crazy if I have an inner voice? Or you might be saying, yeah, my inner voice is mean. No, homegirl. That is not your inner voice, okay? That is your inner critic. There is a difference. And you will know the difference because if it makes you cringe, if it brings you shame, if it makes you feel bad, that's your inner critic, okay? Big difference. That is a defense mechanism part of you that has been ingrained in you since you were probably 5 years old. Okay, that's not the voice I'm speaking about today. That's a different topic for another podcast. I'm talking about the inner voice that's a quiet whisper. the inner voice that is a guidance system that nudges you towards what feels good. Or maybe it doesn't even make any sense at all. But it's discerning between that soft, gentle voice that we're so busy listening to the chaos, moving on to the next thing, doing, that we don't even hear it. It's like, oh, this girl is not even listening to me. I'm just going to shut the hell up. It was a practice to listen to my inner voice. I'll give you an example. Literally this morning, I'm out of the shower, doing my skincare routine, and this little go check the gate. I'm like, we have a gate from our kitchen to our living room to keep the bunny out of the living room because she will destroy my fucking couch if she gets out. She's like a baby goat in this house. So I'm like, no, I shut the gate. Now I know better not than to argue with the inner voice. You don't need to argue with the inner voice. You just listen and you just do. Even if it doesn't make any freaking sense, you just do. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm pretty sure I closed the gate. But I'm gonna go check. Sure enough, the fucking gate was open. She didn't get out, but the gate was open. So I'm like, huh, interesting. Okay. It's these moments. Now, if I was stressing about my day or listening to a podcast or just thinking and thinking and thinking and overthinking, I would have not heard that. But I was just enjoying putting my skincare on, in a moment of just chill, pause, reflecting on how I wanted to show up for the day, just slow, chill. Because those whispers, it's our intuition. And our intuition is what allows us to honor the needs of our soul. It's what invites us to listen deeper. It's a permission slip to navigate and move through life, even if it doesn't make any sense, but towards what we want, right? It's a practice. It's literally a practice. And if you've ever experienced this soft voice inside of you that says go there, call her, walk away, whatever it is, right? Check the clock. Go make sure you blew out the candle. Whatever it is, listen to that voice. Because what happens, and I can tell you this from experience, when you do listen to the whispers, it never guides you wrong. It never steers you wrong. It never traps you into something dangerous or that you shouldn't be doing. There's always the other side where I'm like, huh, thank you. Like this morning with the gate. I literally thought I shut it, but I didn't. Thank you. So I invite you, listen to the whispers of your intuition. They will lead to more inner peace every single time. If I would have went 5 more minutes and she would have realized, she was right in front of the gate sleeping, she would have woke up and realized that gate was open, oof, I would have been a whole different start to my day. Thank you, Whisper. I appreciate you. The fourth and final way to cultivate inner peace throughout your day. We talked about a lot of things, and I think this might be the most important thing, saving the best for last, but also the hardest for last. Embracing your emotions with compassion. Feelings can be messy, overwhelming, and feel like shit sometimes, but they're also a normal part of this human experience. So instead of what we've always been taught to do or shown to do, pushing them away, pretending they don't exist, distracting from them, numbing from them, overthinking about them, try sitting with your emotions without trying to change them, fix them, or feel shame from them, with just this loving kindness, and compassion. Imagine. Do it right now with me. Whatever you're feeling right now, like tune in. What is the predominant feeling that you've been feeling all day? Allow yourself to just feel that. Whatever comes up. Without any judgment or criticism. And just allow each emotion to just come and go like the waves of the ocean. You don't need to attach to them. You don't need to make stories about them. They are simply there to guide you and to show you where you might be out of alignment in your life. They're just simply moments of information. And there's a study somewhere that says if it is it 90 seconds? I think it's 90 seconds. If you think about something or allow an emotion or a thought to be longer than 90 seconds, you turn it into a story. 90 seconds. That's a relatively long time to be like thinking about something. But also, if you're so busy going throughout your day and you don't even realize that you've been literally thinking about this thing for the last 3 hours, well, then that's where we find ourselves in a problem here, don't we? So just practice welcoming your emotions with tenderness and compassion rather than trying to stifle them or drown them or shut them up, because they're just going to come out louder. They're just going to come back louder with more force and more vigor and more pressure. And then it just becomes this pattern that we've all experienced. So see if you can just allow them to come and allow them to go. And when you do these moments of pauses and micro moments of stillness and self-care and listening to the whispers, it becomes a lot easier to be with your emotions from a more loving place. So, that is today's episode. I wanted it to be a little shorter than this, but thank you for sticking with me. See, right now, I'm just in real life. I'm like, judgment. You really wanted this to be 10 minutes. How did you think it was going to be 10 minutes? It's been literally double that. And I really want to create like shorter episodes because I personally love like short episodes. So like right there, a moment of just judgment of like, you couldn't do it. See? Told you couldn't do it. Because I did. When I hop on here, I'm like, can I do this in 10 minutes? And then I just got to talking and riffing. Here we are. But it's perfect. I let it be. It's exactly right. You're going to get what you're going to get out of it, whether you listen for 10 minutes or the entire episode. I appreciate you for being here. I got out everything that I needed to say without rushing or, we're good. Like, Now, if I didn't sit with that just then, like literally, how perfect. I'm doing this right now. If I didn't, and I just thought about it, like, yeah, of course they should be more like your average episodes, like over 30 minutes. Like people are fucking busy. Like maybe they don't have a 30-minute drive home from work. It's only like a 10-minute drive. Like, wouldn't it be great if you had more time? And I would just keep going and going and going and going and going. And it's like, shh, I see you, judgment. And it's okay. We're doing it exactly right. Moving on. And it's as easy as that. Sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes. So, as you journey through life's twists and turns, I hope that you get to cultivate these movements and moments of stillness and shifts and self-care and inner wisdom and emotional acceptance. And I hope that these practices really help guide you towards more peace and joy and fulfillment, no matter what comes your way or how lifey life is feeling. And if you are interested, I have a freebie. I will link it in the show notes. If you're over on Instagram or social media, it's linked in my bio. It is a practice that really, I think, encompasses all of these 4 practices. And it's a simple practice called Turning on Your Loving Witness. And it literally will walk you through the pause, the listening of your inner wisdom, giving you the opportunity to feel your feelings and make these micro shifts. It's a shorter practice, so it's a beautiful micro moment of self-care. It's a little bit more than a micro moment, but you get what I'm saying. And it's free. And it's something that I do every day for myself. It's a process and a practice that I walk my clients through on every single coaching call that we do. It is so powerful, so potent. It's changed my freaking life. Go check it out. I'll link everything below. It's free. It's amazing. Thank you for listening. I hope you have the best day ever. And until next time, I'll see you around. And that is it for today's episode. I hope that these words activated and inspired something inside of you. And if they did, please share this episode with a friend or on your social media, and feel free to tag me so that I can say thank you. The more people who hear these words along their path, the more we can help inspire and heal the world. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a review. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Sending love and light until next time. I'll see you soon.